Hi, this is Gordon from RRR Tool Solutions here. Thank you for joining us, and what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little PM little maintenance on my brother's 1995 Honda NightHawk. And what we're going to do is change the oil. We're going to check the plugs. We're going to lubricate the chain. We're going to air up the tires and check those. And we're going to lubricate the cables. And let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, while we do the other maintenance steps, we're going to go ahead and let this oil be draining. That gives extra time for any impurities or any kind of sediment and so forth to run out as well. And we've already loosened this maintenance steps. So I've pre-loosened that, and now I'm going to go in here and remove the drain plug. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to get this back tire. This bike does not have a center stand, but we're going to place this block strategically where the center stand mounts are, so that we can get a good equal vertical lift on it without impacting the pipes or the stand. Just that simple. We've got the bike lifted up, and we've got access to the tire and chain. I'm a believer in chain wax only because the paraffin will put on a warm chain, and it has the lubricant attached to the paraffin. Paraffin, of course, does its job by sticking to the chain. It doesn't sling off, doesn't make a mess. We're going to take and pull these plugs. We're going to use the RRR nesting socket set, and to do that we're going to grab the smallest one, which is 16 millimeter, stick it on here, and to loosen that we're going to use our 10 millimeter boxed in wrench. We'll remove the plugs. I'm just going to take a plug gap feeler gauge and check. This has got 25 thousandths. Both of these plugs were sooty, indicating a rich condition. He just changed his air filter out, so we should get rid of that. But this has been cleaned off with a wire brush, and I'm going to do the same with this one. There's the after. One of the things that I'm fairly set on is putting anti-seize on a spark plug every time I go in the cylinder. Just make sure that this doesn't get galled up in there and damage the threads. It's a lubricant, but it's also a high temperature lubricant that'll stay on. It'll last through the cycles of the plug. When I put that on, I'm very careful not to get it on the very tip, because obviously you don't want it to interfere with the electrode. But I just go in there and make sure I've got the first few parts of the thread on there, and as I rotate it'll go on there. Nasty stuff to get on your hands, it's hard to get off. I can just take a socket, 120 divided by 10 would be the 12. We've had the oil draining now for good 15-20 minutes, so we know that all the oil and impurities that we're going to get out of there are gone. We've cleaned the drain plug, we've inspected it, and everything is the threads and everything in good shape. I'm going to thread this in fully by hand, and we're going to tighten this to 16 foot-pounds. What we're going to do now, this has got a large end and a small end on it. We're going to put the large end over the cable housing and let the small end go where the cable's at. We tighten this down, and that basically gives us a seal around both the casing and the cable, so that we inject. The injection goes down to cable housing and lubricates the entire cable. I insert that into the hole, and I'll make a couple of quick short spray bursts. Gravity will take it to the bottom for us eventually. And I can actually hear it on the other end, so I know this cable is lubricated. I remove the can. I remove the cable, injector end, adapter. Okay, now I'm ready to put this back on. Once the cable's lubricated, we just need to engage the ball end back into the lever. We align it, and we get our lock nut and our adjuster nut in line, and we simply go in there like that, I'm going to adjust it from the other end so that we have a full adjustment on this side. Now, in order to gain access up the top so I can get the cable end out of the lever, is I loosen this top adjusting nut. I'm going to simply tighten that back. I'll talk about checking your oil with a dipstick in just a second. There's oftentimes a lot of question as to whether or not you screw this all the way down or do you check it. What I do and recommend is that you check this with it setting on top, not screwed in, and you pull it up and you check your oil level. And as you can see, this is still low. I'm going to add oil. I'm going to continue adding until I have a full level. And that's about 1.5 quarts we've added so far. We will spin the motorcycle over, and we can safely crank it up and check it, and then we'll turn it off and let it set 50 minutes and recheck the oil supply. One of the steps we're going to take is to check the air pressure in the tires, both front and rear. So what we'll do is we've got our portable air tank here. We're going to get these up to 32 psi. These are far below what I would recommend. And they tell us that a tire will lose 1 to 2 pounds normally a month. So it's important to check those. This one was better. This one was about 22, 23 pounds.